as a songwriter, you sit down and try to write a story. And somewhere in the back of that, I'll be honest, I want you to have an experience. But for me, I've never felt comfortable in trying to predetermine what that experience is for you. I work really hard in the way that I write to be genuine about my own experience, to put it in there, but not to put it in a space that says everyone is like me. No one's going to have the exact same experience that I have. But part of that connecting part of when we share our stories is realizing that, yes, the details of mine is like this, the details of yours may be different, but oftentimes we find ourselves in one room drawn by all these little kind of string theory connectivities. I mean, there's a reason why you're here tonight. There's a reason in your story, or in your narrative, why the Living in the Tension series is something that you come to. And I think that's the thing, is that if I'll paraphrase, is that when you deliver your experience with a genuine nature, I think that sets up a whole course of events that you can never imagine. I would have never imagined that in a million years. If I could have planned it that way, I would be so egotistical it's not even funny. Oh my gosh, I'm amazing, look what I did. But it's not like that. I mean, for me, it was just one of those things that I did. I was literally a small girl alone by myself in a room, writing that music going, what the hell am I doing here? And when you put that down into that space and have the courage sometimes to share it, you can really affect a lot of the people. And I'm really convinced that each one of us has the power to do that.
Thanks. All right. Yeah.
This is probably going to be not going to happen with the whole microphone thing, is it?
Cool, thank you.
You're going to pass it around. This is going to get nuts. If you start beatboxing, this is over.
I'll leave the music to you. I also want to say thank you. I got to meet you this past summer.
Was I nice to you?
You were so mean to me.
What? Tendency, it's like heckle and jive. Heckle and jive?
But I was one of those youth group kids, and for some reason I was drawn to your music. And then I was one of those youth group kids who realized, I'm gay. And then when I found out that you came out, that was hugely just encouraging to me, that your bravery, because I know that it was very difficult, because you were kind of like a poster child for contemporary Christian music. You seriously, I mean, my perception. When I was in high school, I was like, nah.
Straight guys like Jackie Velasquez.
You're so
Reason 4.25, I'm going to help.
It's true. But the thing I loved about your music then was how your genuine yearning in there, that I could feel with you. And I also still think that's totally true for you today. My question is, since you came out, has the perception or your understanding of the person of Jesus changed for you?
Nice question. I think so. I would say yes and no. Like, in the fundamental way, absolutely not. But it took me a long time to figure that out. Because of all the layering of what I would say religion versus a faith experience, right? The creeds versus faith versus belief. The experience that we have as a spiritual experience versus the creeds that we check off in the little box that says you belong to this community, right? I had to weed that out for a long time, and I didn't really know that I didn't really know that I was doing it at the time. For me, my process, I'll be quite honest, was to jump the whole thing. I didn't know that it was going to stay attached to me. So in that regard, I would say that that's kind of how I learned that the message of Jesus didn't really change. Is that after 7 years of not massaging it every day, or going to my Bible and praying, like the way I was taught. Good Christians do this every day. They get up, they do their little prayer vigil, at least in my little group. I was taught I was supposed to get up every day and pray and kind of just massage this Christian faith experience every day, and I just stopped. I stopped doing that. But somewhere in that 7 years, every day, some point of that, what I learned and what Christ had taught me about compassion, I wasn't around that religious environment every day. It got, like where the creeds were there and the things that you do and all the things that make you look and act and do as a Christian weren't the things that I was worried about. It was the parts that had radically changed me, that made me go, oh my gosh, this person, the total whack job that's sitting over here, who told me some weird story. I'm trying to figure out how I can relate to this person and what's beautiful about their journey. And to me, that to me was the message of Christ, and one of the things that I kind of got layered on top of in this religious experience. And for me, it was literally a job, day in and day out. What did I look like? What did I act like? These were the things that made me a Christian. I had no idea that what I had learned had actually sunk into my experience. So I would say in that way, no, Jesus didn't change. It took a lot of labor to be able to stand up here and say, listen, I claim that experience. I make jokes about all these parking lot born-again Jesus experience. I hate that that's the language that our society uses to say, listen, I had this key moment in my life that radically changed my worldview. I try so hard to say that wasn't, a born-again moment. But it was a response to that, and it's taken me 15 years after the fact to kind of go back around and reclaim that experience as being genuine. So has it changed? It hasn't and hasn't. I mean, I don't know if I would say the things that have changed are just eradicating the things that I feel were layered on top of the very genuine experience.
Yes. Hi, my name is Jill, and I met you briefly in 2001. You were passing through Naperville at a border